Even the smallest questions started to feel like they weighed a ton. I was sitting at the dinner table, kids asking if I'd play with them after dinner. Just a simple question, one any dad would love to say yes to. But my mind froze. It wasn't that I didn't want to. It was that even this choice felt like too much. The clink of cutlery against my untouched plate echoed louder than their voices. My fork sat idle while the food cooled. I stared down, silent, unable to give them an answer. That silence became my symbol. Paralyzed choice, the pause that said more than words ever could. And in that moment, I whispered inside, I can't even decide this. Maybe you've been there too, drowning in decisions until even the smallest ones feel impossible. Decision fatigue is a quiet weight that builds until it crushes. In business, it looks like endless emails, client questions, and financial choices stacking up. Everyone demanding a response, everyone bleeding into the next. The more I decided at work, the less I had left at home. In family life, it showed up painfully at that dinner table. My kids weren't asking for much. Just a game, just a few minutes. But by then, I had nothing left. My silence spoke louder than any yes or no. And culturally, the pressure to always have an answer was even heavier. Growing up, I was taught to know what to do, to be decisive, to carry the responsibility without hesitation. Hesitation was weakness. Uncertainty was failure. So I carried the burden quietly, pretending I was fine, even when I was shutting down inside. Do you ever feel like you're carrying so many choices that your mind locks up? Do you ever freeze at simple questions because you've already spent your energy on bigger ones? Do you ever feel guilty for being silent, for withdrawing when others need your answer? What I wish someone had told me is this: you don't have to choose everything at once, just one calm step. But at the time, I didn't believe it. I thought decisiveness meant I could never hesitate, and that silence at the table only made me feel more ashamed. The breaking point came that night. My kids' faces waiting, my wife looking over, and me, silent, paralyzed, guilt growing in my chest. The crisis cue wasn't shouting, it was silence. I whispered inside, why can't I just answer? Why does everything feel so heavy? My chest tightened, my breath grew shallow, my shoulders curled forward. The silence became the overwhelming symbol, a heavy weight pressing me into myself. I sat there frozen. But then I remembered, I didn't need to solve every decision in that moment. I could reset by choosing less, not more. So I stepped away from the table for a minute, out onto the porch. I placed my hand on my chest and practiced breath work, a 4 to 2 to 6 cycle. Inhale for 4, hold for 2, exhale for 6, slowly, steadily, again and again. Each exhale carried weight out of my body. Then I tried journaling. On the back of a receipt in my pocket, I scribbled the question, what's one decision I can release tonight? The answer surprised me. I don't have to plan tomorrow right now. Just one release. Just one weight dropped. As I breathed and wrote, something softened. My chest eased. My breath slowed. The silence didn't crush me anymore. It just became space. I walked back inside, sat at the table, and looked at my kids. I still felt tired, but this time I managed to smile. And I said softly, "Yes, after dinner." After that breath, something shifted. The decisions didn't disappear. The responsibilities didn't change. But inside, I carried them differently. I remembered the positive shift. I don't need to choose everything at once, just one calm step. I repeated it slowly, letting it anchor me. And then the truth I needed most, the therapeutic beat. Relief comes when I allow myself to choose less, not more. That was the revelation. The silence at the table transformed. What once felt like failure became a pause, a chance to breathe, to choose differently. I realized my kids didn't need me to have every answer. They just needed me present enough to choose one, and I did. But peace comes from one calm choice, not 100 rushed ones. Let's practice this together. Take a slow breath in, count to 4, hold for 2, exhale for 6. Again, 4 in, 2 hold, 6 out. Notice your chest softens. Notice your shoulders loosen. Now write this question somewhere. What's one decision I can release tonight? Don't try to solve everything, just one. Maybe it's tomorrow's schedule. Maybe it's the emails waiting in your inbox. Maybe it's what others think of you. Release just one. At work, this reset means pausing when the decisions pile up, taking one breath, and focusing only on the next step. At home, it means giving yourself permission to answer your family simply, without carrying every weight at once. And culturally, it means rewriting the story. Decisiveness isn't about answering everything immediately. It's about choosing wisely, calmly, one step at a time. Even one breath, one released decision can make space again. The silence at the dinner table still echoes in my memory, but it no longer feels heavy. What was once a symbol of paralysis has softened into a symbol of choice. And I carry the final Leoism. Quote, "One steady choice is enough to move forward." Because it is, and so it will be for you. The positive shift stays with me. I don't need to choose everything at once, just one calm step. So let me leave you with this reflection. What's one choice you can release tonight? It doesn't have to be big. It just has to give you space. Tonight, I'm grateful for the silence that once scared me, because it reminded me that even stillness can be a choice. Because relief doesn't come from deciding everything. It comes from choosing less. And one steady choice is enough.